finally we can do something. I'm gonna start the class. Can you please tell me what how your life is going right now? Not the outside life, your internal life. And I would like to start with Barbara Kramer.
Okay, how my inner life is going right now. Geez, I don't even know how to describe it, basically. I think I'm jumping timelines a lot. It's very disconcerting sometimes. It makes me think that either I'm jumping timelines or I'm going into senility. I hope it's the former. And you know, it's up and down. Some days I feel really great about stuff, and then some days I don't feel so great. Actually, I just want to stay in bed. So I guess that's the best answer I can come up with. I don't know how coherent it is, because I don't feel real coherent myself right now. But anyway, okay?
Okay, thank you. Did you say Penny wasn't here, right? Sarah.
I would say right now that I'm just feeling at peace and having a sense of just being content with where I'm at right now.
That's awesome. Thank you.
Thank you.
Irma.
In my case, I have a lot of subconscious stuff that's becoming conscious. And so I have a lot of ups and downs and working on things. And it's actually very, very intense.
Okay, thank you. Cherry.
Hi, y'all.
Hi.
I think for me, it's been so much of things that I thought I gave to the robot. And I really did at the time in what capacity I could.
Right.
However, peripheral things are sneaking in, and I'm becoming aware of them and giving them to the robot again, and understanding how deep that stuff goes. It's not just a one-time thing. That thought will come back occasionally, right now, not forever, but I have to give it to the robot. So I guess what's been wonderful yet surprising and a little is that I still have this stuff that I thought I gave away. But
remember that it's not only the obvious, not just your thoughts and emotions. What keeps on coming back is the cellular memory until you deal with that.
I have to tell on myself, Ange. I cried last night at the beginning of Jeopardy when they did the tribute to Alex Trebek, but it was only for a minute or two, okay?
We'll talk about that in a minute. Thank you. Liliana. I think I'll give her a chance to, I think she just arrived. Diane Henley. Are you speaking? We can't hear you.
Now? Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay. I said I'm sitting at the tag place waiting to get a tag for a trailer that we use for the Boy Scouts. This is my third trip here, trying to get this done. But my inner self is being pulled in many directions. That's what I had said first.
Okay. Is that it? Okay. Lisa.
Yeah. Okay, sorry. You know, it's a good question. I feel like it's a combination between what Irma said and Sherry said. I feel a lot of things are coming up
Right.
and
they
things
have
that
to.
yeah. I've been having a hard time meditating and a hard time sleeping, and anyway, I've been a little more emotional than normal since the full moon, I guess. So
Right.
I don't know if it's just the intensity of the energy or what's going on.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Myla. Unmute.
Dealing with a few little stressors and handling them one by one and trying to step back and just go, okay, what's going on here? So I don't allow my ego or emotions to take, full effect, handle it one by one and then just move forward. So that is the key. That's my focus. It's just kind of, and then go back to centering myself. That's all I can do. Just keep going.
Exactly. Okay. Thank you. Liliana. Are you even there? I can't see you. Okay. Darlene. Darlene.
How do I get it on?
You're muted. Right there. Leave it there. You are there. Leave it there. Don't touch anything. Just speak.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Hello? Well, I have to unmute it and it turns back. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Hello?
Hi. Hello.
We can hear you.
We can hear you.
It's working. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Hello?
Yes.
Oh,
we can
okay.
hear
Oh,
you.
so actually I'm at peace. Hi. I'm at peace and oh God. Why? Poor network connection.
Can you just
I don't know.
talk to
The
us?
microphone's turned off.
It's fine. Go ahead. We hear
I
you.
mean it's
We hear
working.
you.
It's,
We hear you. Just talk.
what?
Just talk.
Just continue
Okay.
talking.
So okay, so a lot of stuff going on. What?
When did you feel this?
Oh, for a while now. Those of you that know, the promises are coming true for me, and stuff's going on, and I'm peaceful, and that's amazing. So I'm really happy to be Zooming with you, go to meeting with you guys.
Good.
And I have somebody here with me. Can you see her?
Hi.
Who is
Donna's
it?
here. Donna Harold.
Hi, Donna. Nice seeing you. Nice seeing you both. So anything else? How about Donna? How's Donna? Can you speak?
Nice to be seen.
Just ask her the same
Yes.
question.
Well, I was feeling really, really good around the full moon and after the full moon. But the last couple of days, I've really been scattered. There have been bizarre things happening, and I've been handling them. But it startles me. They're kind of bizarre. I won't go into them, but and I'm feeling kind of like I can't find my footing today. I can't get started. I was late getting to Darlene's today. So, I'm just having a hard time getting started today. That's not like me. So something's going on in the universe, I think. So I'm just dealing with it the best that I can.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Penny?
I guess the question was, how are we feeling? Because I wasn't here when you first started. How are we feeling, Mike? Weird. Okay.
How are you personally feeling? Not what's going on outside of you. What's going on within you?
I would say it's really something. Some days I am feeling like I fell in a black hole and have trouble climbing out. But then, because the show must go on, as I've always done in my life, I climb out, and I then can feel pretty solid as a rock. So I go between being a rock and a black hole. And still missing my mom very much. Some days I do much better than others. Some days I don't do well at all. But it's okay, because I'm still going through the grieving process. So I mean,
It's part of the process, yes.
Yeah, it just takes a while, and it's only been 2 months. So, but yeah, it's kind of crazy. And then, but I, like I said, I have my ups and downs, and some days are better than others.
Okay, thank you. I'm gonna try Liliana one more time before I go to Virginia. Liliana, are you there? No, okay. Miss Virginia.
Well, I guess I'm similar to many of you. I feel like I keep getting pulled off my center and I keep going back. And this is really an intense week for a month for the ministry. And so that's a lot of what's on my mind. But I also have a pervasive calm that's below all of the craziness, because I know that we're going through this transition and that it's crazy and that it eventually will pass and that it's all for good.
Thank you. Sherry, can you mute yourself? Okay. The energies right now are going to be all over the place. If you haven't been there previously within the last 2 weeks, some of you have already gone through it, because a certain event already is behind us, supposedly. So a major anxiety has been taken off the table, but on an internal level, people are gonna start sizzling pretty soon, because a lot of the issues are coming to a head, whether you like it or not, whether you're ready for it or not, because you have no control on it, none at all whatsoever. Okay, you do have control over how to handle the situation, but you don't have control of the ups and downs, because they're gonna be coming up. So coming up and down, it is part of the, we're being bombarded with angelic forces, other light being forces, other dimensional forces, and other worldly forces. And they're all bombarding us with light to help us assimilate at a faster rate than what we're doing. They're also working with our DNAs, so our energy increases. Our bodies do change. They're not going to make a major change, but they will be changing. And also, we have, right now, we're having photon belts and solar flares. Before I get into the actual class, I want to say something that is going to be coming up, that people are going to be, if you get to hear this, I suggest that you don't pay attention to it. So I'm going to address it here first. Supposedly, we are, like I said, we are being bombarded by different sorts of energy, and all of them meant for your good. Okay. Uh, there's going to be a major shift. There has been major shifts going with that we have been going through. The planet itself is shifting slightly, and there's going to be a solar flare, a more potent solar flare on the 21st of December. Some of them will call it the apocalypse, the end of the world. Do not buy into that. It's not the end of the world. It's not the it's not it maybe the end of the world as you know it, from, and I'm talking internally rather than externally, rather than the so I want you to pay attention, because there's a lot of fear still going on right now about things that just passed, about the election, about what's going to happen or not happen, or whoever you're with, or whatever you voted, or whatever. I just want everybody to be mindful that a lot of people kept the feeling that there was going to be there's a relief for a lot of us, and there's a lot of pain for others. So be mindful not to create more pain where there is already painful situations for them. We are supposed to be in unity, not in disunity. Let's be the example. And I don't care who you voted for. I mean, we're all in this together. Okay, so I'm talking specifically about the voting, and I'm not supporting one or the other. All I'm saying is, please do not hurt, do not insult, do not carry on. Enough is enough. It stops with us. So because we are going through a lot of things, and I just wanted to make sure that I address number one, the upcoming flare, and hopefully not too many people will be that that it will not be publicized that much. That's what I'm hoping for. So I'm hoping that the people that are not paying attention to Facebook or to social media, that especially Instagram right now with that information. But it is on all the medias right now. If you go to certain places, so if you listen to that, please disregard. It's not necessary. What I would like to do now is go to my excuse me, I forgot to put my phone on mute. All right, all right. Let's see, close. No, not right, mute. Okay. So it's going to be a different class today, because I'm going to be talking about things that I have been meaning to talk about during different classes, and I kept on running out of time. So from the last 2 months, I'm going to start, giving you what I haven't given you yet in other words, or a review in some cases. So I'm going to talk about what I call the soul truths, the truth of the soul. So soul truths do not speak of what the personality wants to hear. Soul truths speak of wisdom that resonates with a deeper process of growth. Soul truths respect your own inner ability to know the answers, or invite you to simply stop wanting the answers. faults in groups like ours is we want answers and we want them now. And how come we haven't? And I thought I had it and then I didn't, and blah, 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 blah. Okay. The thing is, we do have the answers, but your soul is not going to go ahead of you if you're not ready to proceed. So it will present you as many opportunities for you to grab the correct answer. So you will have opportunities for reviewing your own life. Your soul will put you there. Okay, your feminine energy is asking you to please stop searching wildly and frantically for answers. They're not going to help you. Okay, do not go out there on a searching expedition because you're not going to go anywhere. Okay, it is so exhausting. Your personality wants to know when and why and how and if and what. And even if you gave it all of those answers, then it will they will start questioning the answers. No matter what you say, it's never going to be secure enough for it to get a hold of and rest with it. There will always be doubts. There will always be other things because we're talking about the ego that has to defend you. That's his job. His assigned job that it assigned itself to helping you, to protect you and to, have, there was a time I saw on TV, there was a man that fell on the ice and the dog sat on top of him and would not allow anybody to help him get up because he was protecting the man. Okay, if you're protecting, which is the ego, pretend that the dog is the ego and everybody's trying to help the man to get up, but the dog is protecting him because it fell and it doesn't want anybody to even get close to it. So all the opportunities to come to the rescue are blocked. So that's your ego. So your personality wants to know all of the why, when, where, how, what. It wants to know the outcomes and the solutions. It wants whatever suffering you are feeling in this moment to stop and be dealt with. The soul truth right now may be that you are not ready to hear all the answers. Okay, because you are being very hard on yourself. You want all the answers and you want them now and at whatever, and you're not paying attention to how you're feeling. You're not paying attention to the internal conflicts that is creating all this searching. Okay, and if I meditate 20 hours, and if I pray for another 20, and if I just analyze it from this way, or if I get 10 robots on the side, one for the mind and one for the emotions and one for the, you know what I'm saying? So, like I said, you might not be ready for the answers. You need to be with your suffering because you avoided being deeply present for so long. We avoided allowing many times when we went through things that we could have dealt with and we did not deal with them, it became a trauma because then it became not only a cellular memory, but I also engulfed. A cellular memory happens when you have a repeated thought, okay? So what is a repeated thought? A repeated thought is a belief. It develops into a belief system. So now are you not only talking about cellular memory by itself, you're talking about beliefs that you have built on cellular memories as part of the story. So because you have all of those beliefs and all that, and then you have, you might not be ready to discard it all at once because like you said, okay, I know I worked on this and I gave it to the robot. and I gave the emotion, and I gave the feeling, and I gave the thought, and I gave the charge, and anything I could think of, and I kept discharging, and then you come back again, and then you have another surge of emotions. And this is what we're going through right now. It's the search of it's the cellular memory revealing itself to you, because you need to deal with it. Okay, things that you have repressed, you're gonna have to deal with it, whether you're ready for it or not. That's how come people are coming up and down, up and down, and up and down. Okay, and it's a good thing for the people that are taking a rest, because suddenly you're peaceful, and that's good. Take the opportunity and rest. Take the opportunity and rest while you can. Okay, because if it's not you, somebody in the family. If it's not somebody in the family, it's gonna be somebody you're around, nearby. Okay, so we have avoided the feeling, the emotion, the thing. We swallowed it. We did. Since I'm not afraid, I'm not in pain. Whether it is a death in the family of a dog or a cat, or an actual death of a family member, brother, sister, mother, father, whatever, and best friend. What do? You deal with it. You feel the feeling. You go through the grieving process, but then it's a different story. And why is it different? Why do you need to change the story? Why do you need to drop the story? Once you have gone through your period of grief, you will allow yourself to come back to live life. Because I tell you what happens when somebody leaves the place, whether it is a husband, a significant other. And I'm not just talking about death. I can be talking about divorce. I can be talking about my best friend, and I had a fit in any kind of separation like that, where there's no reconciliation and there's no wanting to work at it for whatever reason. When you close that door, immediately the universe sends someone else, not to replace the person, but to take the place emotionally, to help you deal with life. But if you still condemning, if you still holding on to the anger and the rage and the grief and all of that, that person cannot come into your life. It might be right there next to you, but you won't see it. You won't recognize it as such. Only that there's something about that person that makes you feel better. That makes you, it's a familiar feeling. I know that when I have left people in other towns, in other states, in other, somebody always came around that took that place. Not that I was looking for that. Not that you can replace the people. I'm not talking about replacing people. I'm talking about the people that will come into your life, will give you a resonance to what the other person did. And the thing is, nobody's telling you that you can't have, that you cannot have the memories of, but try to concentrate on the good memories, not on I miss you. No, you cannot miss them. Your memories are right there. Your love is right there. You never miss the love. And if you don't want to, if it's not love, then please let go of the anger and of the fear and let's say it's a divorce, and the victimhood, the mistreatment, and all of these things that happens to us, that we feel less than, and we blame the other person. But our feelings, like I told you before in several classes, the feelings belong to us. Those are our feelings. Somebody died. Was it my brother? No. Was it my sister? No. Was it my mom? Maybe my father or my stepfather, or, my best friend did leave. My parents left. Thankfully, my brother hasn't. But we all have this empty space. And then we call that loneliness because we refuse to close the door. And we refuse to close the door because we think that we're doing a disservice, and that, that you really love these people and all of that. You're not negating that. But instead of going, I miss you, can you say, I'm so glad that, you got to be my father. I'm so glad that you got to be my brother or my mom or my whoever. I'm so glad that I had this time with you, that you were there for me, and that and that I enjoyed you. And I'm so happy that you're gonna be here when the person that is close to you, that resonates close to your vibration, is gonna come into my life. Not to replace you, but we both will be experiencing this together. It's a big difference than I'm gonna miss you and I'm gonna da 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 da. That's never acknowledging that they never left you. They never left you. So what are you missing? Your idea, your victimhood, your what? Love never dies on either side. And if you are getting I have a couple of you, 3 of you, that are having issues with a significant other, and going through things and divorces and things. So you're going. What happens then? It's a different kind of a death. The death of a relationship. The death of a pet. The death of whatever. Did I say do not dwell on it? Do not. No, I said go ahead and give it your time and give it your, and feel what it feels like and let it go. There's a time for grief, and it's okay to feel that. But after that, and as your mother or your father might say, I would like you to be happy, and I would like somebody else to come into your life because I know what it was like. I know a relationship, and you still have that relationship if you want it. The thing is, most people don't take advantage of that. And that's where the problem lies. Because it's a lot easier to say, I miss you, blah, 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 than to talk to them, him, her, whatever. To say, you continue talking because they can hear you. So if you have a bond with them, they will be there. Remember that we're multidimensional beings. Once the body is gone, they can be, like it says in the Bible, I'm closer than hands and feet because I'm not a body. I am within you. And if you can understand that, if you can actually feel them, you know that they're right there. If you don't want to feel somebody, if you are in the process of disconnection, then you cut the ties and you say, thank you for the lessons. Thank you that I learned a lot through this process. I am grateful that I no longer have to go through that, and that I am I'm choosing a higher vibration. I'm choosing but I do thank you for helping me. And because evidently I needed to go through this. Evidently something I needed to look at. So, like I said, a lot of people don't have, they stop the suffering, they stop the process, and there's a lot of bottled up emotions. A lot of people don't recognize that as depression, but a lot of people are sleeping too much. A lot of people are just whatever chance they have, let me go and just relax. I can't deal with things because I'm not present, because I'm too busy being a victim of the past, because I don't have what I had with people. And now I am alone. Okay, so another thing that I wanted to talk to you about when it comes to feelings. When I say to you, face it, embrace it, erase it, what am I saying? What am I saying here? Face the fear, the anger, the emotion, the resentment, the whatever it is. Embrace. Embrace what exactly? I'm not asking you to embrace the emotion. That's not what I'm asking you to embrace. I'm asking you to embrace the feeling. I want you to pay attention to your body. Your body's reactive and becomes reactive. Do not allow yourself to get into the emotional part of it, but watch your emotions going through your body, which is the part that people jump either from going to numb or going into a reaction. Instead of going through either one of those, feel the feeling of what the emotion or the confrontation or whatever it is that's causing the upset. Feel your body. That's the feeling part. Do not get caught up in the emotion. Embrace it, erase it. What are you erasing? You're erasing the body who was trying to communicate with you an emotion. And the moment the body releases that emotion, that feeling, is when the charge leaves. Okay, so you need to know that you're not releasing everything. You're releasing the emotion, I mean the feeling, but do not get caught up in the emotion. So you need to be with your suffering because you have avoided being deeply present for so long. You need to be with your pain because you're always running from its messages. You need to be with your present choices. And when you are ready, you will make changes that need to be made, the changes that you want to have in your life. But in order for you to make those changes, you have to be clear. But you cannot be clear if you have emotional, you're clogged emotionally. You need to flush that toilet, man, you know, before it starts overflowing all over you. Okay? So you need to be present with your choices, and when you're ready, you will make changes that need to be made. Be patient with whatever process you are in right now. It will be uncomfortable. It is uncomfortable. It's more likely going to change, but if it's that uncomfortable, while it's going through your body, it's most likely it's going to change soon. And there is something important that your higher self is extracting from this experience. If there's something that you know you need to do for your own good and you're resisting it, just sit with that resistance. Observe the resistance. When you're ready, you will take a step to resolve this. But one other thing we don't pay attention to is the resistance. When we're resisting something, we just know we're resisting, but do we give that to the robot? No, because we don't recognize that as the problem. The problem is whatever the reaction is, you know, but that's not the problem. The problem is the resistance, not the reaction. The truth is, you really do know what to do. You really do. So having said all of that, and as we become clearer and more enabled to face the future by doing these simple steps. I didn't say the word easy, I said simple. Okay? So now is the time. These are the moments. And every now moment from here on, from henceforth, or however you say that, from here on out, those of you that are hearing this message are all being called to rise up. Every one of you. You're being called, and this is something I wrote specifically for this group that was being given to me. So this message came for you guys. So I'm gonna repeat it to you. Now is the time. This now moments and every now moment henceforth. Those of you hearing this message are all being called to rise up, called up to be the lion or to be the lioness that you are. Walk proud within your stilt. Inspire others via your silent yet noble actions. Walk with the pride, the pride of lions or lionesses. As you emanate your controlled confidence of consciousness outward through the eyes of directional focus. Emanate your soul's true purpose up and out via your beautiful, loving hearts as we send energy out into the world. Up and out through your individualistic, spiritual visionaries, those very eyes of yours. For both are separate universes that you and only you retain within your inner verse, not universe, inner verse of ancient knowledge and wisdom. Find your sacred space. Recharge your energies from within the sacred space that you have created. Take the much needed time to reconnect to your connections of divine source, which I'm going to bring something else. Once again, and we all are guilty of this. There's not one of us in this room that is not guilty of this. We have within our circles, our 6 people that we deal with daily. The word is daily, whether it is in your mind or whether it is actual physical contact. The 6 people you're around the most, if you do not change your surroundings, if you expose yourself less and less, you need to do something about that. We all have families that love to gripe and carry on, mine included. We all have friends that for one reason or another we acquired through family or marriages or next door neighbors or whatever. And not everybody helps you come up. And at this time, you cannot afford that. If you have somebody at home who is very down, they don't say anything, but they're walking around like just they're existing. Okay? And that could be even for your work at. People that are just existing, walking around because they don't feel that there is anything else. That is called depression. but we don't recognize it as such because it's our family. They're right there in front of us and we don't see it. Okay? When we come to depression, we have many ways of expressing it. The worst one is the silent type, the martyr. Like, you should know my pain, you should know where I'm at, you should, and what do you do with that? Nobody's vocalizing anything, yet you feel it. Because all of us in this group are empaths, and we feel that. Your mom, your father, your husband, your child, your siblings, your friends. I have a lot of friends that like to do that. And I have to choose. From now on, I have to choose who I am around. Because when you are around somebody who's around other people, you're going to have to start cutting them off too, unfortunately. The thing is, when you live with someone, when you're actually in the same house, what do? Recognize what is happening. It's called depression. What do? You pay attention to that person. You acknowledge that person, their presence in your life, not just talking or this or that, or you're gonna, what are you gonna have for supper, or, did you eat or whatever. However, I don't know. It's more than that. It's more like, hey, can I have a hug? Can I do this, that, the other? I'm talking about people living together. I'm not talking about my neighbor right next door. I'm talking about people that matter. Okay? So I want you to hear this. This I got out of Facebook, out of one of my friends. It's a little quote, but I found it appropriate for what we're talking about here. It says, the reason why gardeners prune plants is because it removes the damaged areas that stress the plant. It improves the flow of energy, which creates a healthier plant. The same is true for our healing. We must be willing to prune areas of our lives that are damaged so we can allow, this is the part, we can allow the energy to flow through. If we don't, we create energetic imbalances that will continue to manifest as pain. So I'm going to say the last time because there was some interruption over there. So I'm going to say the same is true for our healing. We must be willing to prune areas of our lives that are damaged so we can allow new energy to flow through. If we do not, we create energetic imbalances that will continue to manifest as pain. If you're surrounded with painful people and crippled and whatever else, you are asking for pain. You're asking for suffering. You're asking for different things. I'm not talking about if that's your job, if you're a nurse. However, don't confuse if you're a caretaker, which is something totally different. I will ask you, why are you a caretaker? What value is it producing in your life? Not that it has no value, but evidently somebody who's looking for suffering will find it in whatever areas that seem to be the most giving, the most loving, the most expressive parts of us, because we are of service. So pay attention. How is this serving you? How are you benefiting? Because it must be a reason you're doing this. There's some gain from it. And if you're getting a high, if your ego is getting a high because it's saying, I am so good, look at what I'm doing, I would say, do you really need to prove that to yourself? Because there's somebody else to prove it to. only to ourselves. So I'm going to leave that alone. I'm going to move to the observer again. The observer of okay, spirit is not logical, okay? It never was, it never intended to be. Logic says 1 + 1 = 2. And spirit says 1 × 1 exponentially through dimensional portals and this and that may be, you know, $5 trillion, you know, or whatever it is. And I'm putting it in dollars, but it's not logical because it has no limits. So the observer of the logical, which is what I'm asking you to do, the logic I'm asking you to bring the observer, will become the observer of what is no longer logical in order to transcend the limits of the logical mind. The observers of the universe understand so far beyond what logic can comprehend. Observers can then translate and share based upon their own perceptions and relay for those who resonate at the same vibrational frequency. What does that mean exactly? Vibrate at that vibrational frequency. All teachers, I don't care who they are, they will talk to everybody, to all levels, and everybody will get something according to their level. Even Jesus used to say, the Jesus apostles used to say, why do you talk to us differently than you talk to the multitudes? Because they were at a different level of understanding, but everybody was getting the same message at their level that they could use at their level, whatever level that was. So, you know, you may think that you think the same as the person sitting next to you in a room, or but we all have different perceptions. We all have different storylines, and each storyline has different belief systems than the other person. So we have a total different view. So when you say, oh, I see that, you don't see that for somebody else, you see that for you. Okay? You can relate to something, but you can only relate as far as to how your story goes. Do you understand that? Okay. So it's people that resonate at the frequency. In this case, it's not the frequency of the person, but it's the frequency of the message being given. The level of access will be indicative of one's frequency and level of consciousness at any given moment. As one continues to expand, so does this. What does that mean? As we continue to expand, so does our level of consciousness expands. I'm talking about levels of consciousness. Even though it goes through all of the different levels of where people are at, everybody who gets the message expands their level of awareness. Okay. In the beginning, all judge, every one of us. It is part of the human duality. Judgment is observing, but then taking that observation to a human level of forming an opinion. So now you observe, but then you observed and you had to get your storyline based on your past, and then you come across and you say, you decided what that meant. You actually had no clue what that meant, but you gave it a meaning based on your storyline. That's where opinions come from. They don't come from, you know, you reason something out or whatever. No, it has to do with your storyline. Those are your opinions of your observations. This is done due to unclear frequencies attached to individual stories, collected in all realities and manifested in the current moment. Consciousness allows for observation, and through this observation, one learns to release judgment. You learn to just observe without the so-called meaning that you gave it, the judgment that you gave it. With this release, one is able then to learn without forming an opinion. Okay, the observation minus the storyline that you gave it and the value that you gave that observation, when in reality had none. So consciousness allows for observation, and through this observation, one learns to release judgment. With this release, one is able to then learn without forming an opinion. One opens up to new possibilities because now you don't have a story, a past coming behind, chasing you, that it has to mean something. So when you open up to the new possibilities, you are decluttering our receivers. In order to do this, one must be able to observe the darkness within ourselves, because it's going to start giving you a story. Why are you giving a judgment? There's a story behind it. Look at the story. If you're going to look at something, you're going to judge something, judge your storyline. That's what Jesus meant by, before you go and take something out of your brother's eye, the toothpick out of your brother's eye, you know, take the telephone pole that you attach to it. Okay. So in order to do this, one must be able to observe the darkness within and release it without the judgment. In stepping out of individual body and into the soul body, one removes personal stories and individualism and steps into a higher perspective and view where nothing is personal. When nothing becomes personal because there's no storyline attached to it. So there's no judgment then. Okay, non-separation must be applied on a personal level before one can actively participate in elevating to a higher level of observation. For it is within these higher frequency perspectives of the soul that one can clear and release with greater ease once you start going with no stories, letting go of the past, letting go of the illusion that your past is past. It's not. Your past is right here with you. Everything is right here with you, right here, right now, including your past. So, for it is within these higher frequency perspectives of the soul that you can clear and release with greater ease, as there is no personal, there is no separation, so therefore there is no right or wrong or blame or shame or fear or guilt, etc. Those are all thoughts of a reasoning mind. Those are all thoughts that make you reactive. And reactive comes from the storyline. So like I said, all those are thoughts of a reasoning mind. Things just are. They are what they are, and you don't know what that means. The observational mind has the ability to expand what it observes. The clutter has to go before one has a view that is clear enough to see beyond the frequency of limits. You know, you think you're done, but you're not done. So once you become clear, this is for the future. Once you start clearing the junk, once you start going all over the place, once the storyline is no longer interfering, once your judgment, you let go of judgment and things are what they are. That's what it means when it is what it is. People don't even know what they're saying. It is what it is. Do not give it a meaning. They think it is what it is. It's crappy, but it's, no, the moment that you decided that it was crappy or whatever, it is a crappy thing, so it is what it is. No, you gave it the meaning of crappy. You gave it the meaning of bad or nasty or ugly or whatever. It wasn't that until you made it so. But things are just things. So I'm going to say that once you become clear, nothing is hidden to those of us that can truly see. Far too many are allowing envy, jealousy, and temptation to pull them off their illumined paths. This is pulling them off their individual, excuse me. This is pulling them off their individually illumined paths that are lifting them up and out of the dark woods, their dark nights of their soul, so to speak. Giving in to envy, jealousy, and temptation is allowing them to be pulled back into the traumas and dramas of others, which is what I'm talking about, the 6 people in your life. This in turn leads them further and further away from their inner work, their soul's eternal rehab, as it were. It is safe to extend your hand down into the lower dimensional planes. Are we listening here? It is safe to extend your hand down into the lower dimensional planes in order to share one's knowledge and guidance for those one feels in need of it. Yet, never dim your light for another by going back down into the lower dimensional levels of existence that you fought so very, very, very hard to rise up and out of. Continue to be the example for others to follow. That's where you come in when it comes to lower vibrations. You become the example. People want to be, what is it about you? How, can you tell me how, you don't become this or that, or you don't react this way, or whatever it is, be the example. You don't have to do anything else. Be the example. Maintain your maintain your luminant beacons of light in order to allow those who are willing to invest in themselves. If they want to come up, then you are willing to help without going down in the dimensional path where they're at. Because that vibration, by sitting next to them or being around them, is going to mingle with yours. And it will affect you. And you're going, why am I depressed? I don't know why. I keep on going down and up and down. Why do we do that? Who's around us? So, repeating back, maintain your luminescence. Maintain your light in order to allow those who are willing to invest in themselves, enough to dedicate themselves to their ascension, to prove themselves to the universe that they will not waste your time, nor the time of others that they are guided to for assistance. So people will be guided to you, but you need to recognize who they are. People are always coming towards you. Pay attention who's coming towards you. You have something that they're resonating to and they don't know what it is. Share what you know. This may seem harsh to just leave the other people behind, but truth is very often a harsh yet necessary pill to swallow. Maintain and expand your ever-increasing, ever-expanding luminous light of divinity and grace so that those seeking it can see it, so that they can follow it, to follow it in order to find their own way up and out of their very own traumas of their dark woods or their dark night of the soul, as they called it. It is very crucial that each of you maintain the fullest levels of unconditional love for yourselves at this time, from this moment and every moment forthwith, from now on. We are here to guide, not to save. Are we listening? We're not to save. And I'm talking to some of you specifically on this. We are here to assist those guided to us, to assist those who are to become independent, self-sustaining, empowered beacons of light and love. This is what we came here to do. This is us coming here to help the planet ascend. That's why we're called light beings. We have to be the example, the shining light. But if somebody else can pull us down that easily because we are around their energy so much that we become that energy, we're doing a disservice to ourselves, number one, and a disservice to what we came here to do. It seems harsh. It is harsh. It doesn't seem, it is. The thing is, do we want to continue to be part of a world that is so insensitive, that it is so in pain, that is in so much anger and division? And do we want to be a part of that, or do we want to unite? Do we want to send love? Do we want to teach love? Do we want to allow ourselves the willingness to be that which we came here to be the example, to be the change we want to see? And now I'm going to open up the floor because I think I gave a mouthful of information. I'm going like, I know we won't see each other for a while, so you can listen to this message a couple of times. I will hope that you listen to this again, because it is good for you to know this. Let's see. I think I lost somebody. I lost Sam, I see. Okay. So opening up the floor, and if you do not ask questions, I'm gonna go through each one of you with my own questions. I mean, I gave you enough information to be plenty of questions, plenty. So out of all that gazillions of information that I just gave you, tell me what your question is.
I don't have a question. I have a, I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I got bits of it because I had to stop, but what I got from today's class was that, you know, being the shining light really makes a big difference as far as we're trying to set the example and what have you. I don't quite know how, when we're with our immediate family, how we can keep ourselves protected. That part's a little bit more still, I'm
It's
not
not
so
about
sure about.
protection, it's about remaining a high vibration, emanating from that high vibration and sending them love and value them because they are depressed, because they are feeling less than. And when they do that, they don't know how else to react other than be a victim. So you validate them as people
Okay.
because all they know is invalidation. You know what I'm saying? You have to validate them. You have to tell them, I see you, I love you, touch them, hug them. How important you are to me. I am so happy that you're my significant other, or that you're my grandchild, or that you're my child, or that you are a very good part of, you know, how they affect your life. Why are you happy that they are with you? Why are you grateful that they are your family? And there
Well, when you
is,
see
I mean, if you look at it that way, you have to then apply it and say something about it. Most of us are just like, we don't want to talk about it. We are afraid to express our emotions. And that's just not right. So I like to tell you that aside from that, you send them love every day. When you do meditation, if you do meditate, or if you don't meditate, when you're in the bathroom, open your heart chakra and send them love. Send love to you first, and then open your heart to send it to them. And see them with unconditional love, not with your storyline of what they are like. Unconditional love starts with you, number one. Okay? I love myself unconditionally, but also I love myself in such a way that I am able to project that love onto you. And when I open up my heart chakra, the more that I open it and the more that I push it out, when I start giving love to the world, the higher and the more powerful it becomes. And then the more that you're able to affect people. I have a very wide aura. I have a very wide reach if I wanted to use it. I haven't. I have been holding back because I've been waiting and waiting and waiting, and the time is now that I no longer need to wait. So that's what you need to do, Diane. So, Sherry.
Wow, this has been a lovely class, and it spoke to me, and it gave me a sense that I am on the right path, that I am doing the right things, because I'm following directions. I'm not listening to my feelings. I'm observing them. But like I said, it's
Wait, you have to feel your feelings. You do not need to get into the emotional part of it, but you face it, embrace it, erase it. But
right.
You only embrace the feeling, not the emotion. Okay, let me go ahead.
What is it?
Sherry?
So my question is this: if we're the sum of the 6 people, but one of the people is got a terminal condition that she's already given up on life. So what I've done is, because I see this person constantly, is quit trying to change her. I can. She obviously is drawn to my light and my energy, And whatever good that gives her, I'm not sure, but even I can
Well,
still be
okay,
with her.
never mind her. What does he do for you?
Okay, I can
That's
still
the
be
part
around.
I want to know. I don't care about whether she's terminal or, you
Right.
know.
So I can still be around her and be that beacon and not
No,
expect.
I'm asking you, what does that do for you?
It takes me out of expecting people to be a certain way.
Are you using her as a lesson then?
Not consciously, but it seems to me I've, over this past weekend, learned that I'm here to be her friend, not to try to fix her, and she's on her own path. She's very negative.
Never mind her. Like I said, I don't want to hear about her. I want to see what that does for you.
For me, it's learning how to not involve myself in her stuff, in her drama.
Okay, but you still have to be involved with her.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Just work on that. But like, was there a question there?
Yes. So I don't want to put her out of my life, even though she doesn't bring a lot of positivity.
Okay.
And yet I don't have a motive of trying to change her to be who I think she should be.
No, it has to be your gain, not hers. We have people around us because we have something to gain from them, family included. I don't want you to look at anybody that you feel that is a negative vibration or a blah, blah, blah. I want you to look at you and what you get out of that. Specifically your ego. What does your ego get out of this? Okay, you don't have to answer me. I'm just telling you what you need to look at. Okay?
Thank you.
Uh-huh. Yes, Sarah.
I guess one of the questions I'm getting caught up, I guess, in the semantics of feeling your feeling, but not getting caught up in the emotion. Like, where's the line? And is there a trick to feeling it without getting caught
Okay.
up in the emotion?
For example, you start getting angry and you start breathing harder and you start huffing and puffing and you feel the body. Your body has a reaction to anger. You don't get caught up on the emotion itself, you get caught up on the feelings of the body. Feeling is sensual, senses. Emotion is soul.
Okay.
And the other question? You said one of the questions.
Oh, I guess that was my main question for me. So emotions is soul, and the feeling is the body, like the actual physical
What I said, the
biological
senses,
response.
the sensual part.
Okay. All right. I'll think about that. Thank you.
And also, you know, for example, I started to say you get angry, you start flaring up, or you get emotional because somebody died or whatever that you don't know, they're not a part of your life, but you heard that somebody died, like who was it that died recently? And I'm not talking about it was a musician that just died, and I was attached to his music, and you know, I got oh, you know, but I caught myself on the I started observing my body because I didn't want that to be cellular memory. So I got caught up on the emotion of the not the emotion, the feelings of the body's reaction. Okay, It's the body's reaction. I immediately started, my eyes started getting watery and my chest started to feel heavy and things like that. And you feel how your body breathes and how you, or doesn't breathe, and how your blood is pumping. And you become, if you pay attention to your body during those times, you will find out that your body is speaking loudly to you during those times, that you're not paying attention because you're caught up on the emotion. And so then it gets buried because you just ignored it.
Angie, I got a question. A friend of ours, like you said, has passed away. And with the COVID, a lot of people are not doing any kind of funerals or gatherings because of the COVID. My heart goes out to the existing family, especially the wife.
What do you mean by that? What do you mean by that? My heart goes out. Evidently, it's not in a loving manner, because your heart goes out means I feel sorry for them, pretty much. Or are you sending them love? I mean, unconditional love, without them wanting to do anything, not for comfort, not for peace, not for praying. If you're sending love, that is love. You're sending love. You're not sending a conditional thing. I want you to feel the comfort, and I want you to feel peaceful, and I want you to be accepting. So when you're saying your heart goes out, are you talking about those things, or are you talking about you just open up and send unconditional love without it, no matter what happens to them? Is that what you mean?
Well, for me, I actually feel a pain in the heart area for the loss of that person being in her life, but at the same time, I know how hard she took care of that person.
Right,
so
because
I
you're telling
know it's
yourself,
also unbelief.
you were not here when I was talking about, we tell ourselves a story, and we, instead of seeing what's happening out there with somebody else, we relate it to our stories, to the stories we know and we have cataloged, and then we use those stories to project as to how they're feeling. Oh, my pain. And you feel it in your heart, and you feel it, whatever you're feeling, the emotion. And that's an emotion, it's called a reaction. It's not an action, it's a reaction. An actualized being does not react. And there's nothing wrong with reacting. Don't get me wrong, I'm not saying don't react. Okay, so people go, from one end to the other. I'm not asking you not to react. All I'm asking you is, so you have this emotion, your heart goes out, which means you even have a pain, and then you feel for them because of they lost somebody that is very dear and near to them. Right?
Right.
And then
And so what I'm getting from what you're saying is that behind that, then to send, like you said, unconditional love. I send virtual hugs over the phone because we're not allowed to actually go and hug on them. I'm very uncomfortable with the idea of going to funerals and what have you, because to me it's very hard. Because like you said, we're very.
Diane,
are really down. So I don't really want.
Go ahead. No, go.
Yeah. So, but at the same time, it's like, I really don't know, what I can do. This person doesn't live next door. They live quite a ways away, other than to send my condolences, to send my hugs over the internet, to, maybe call and just say, how you doing? How you feeling? You doing all right? Good.
Okay.
Just
is there a question? Is there a question here?
I guess I'm looking for whether to reach out or not reach out to that person.
When you want to do something, it's not a matter of questioning whether you should or shouldn't. You normally would do what needs to be done, if that is what you want to do. If not, if you don't want to do something, you will find an excuse. Is this normal? Is this okay? If this, and then you become questioning of why, um, you know, why the moment that you start questioning who, you know, if this is okay, you don't want to do it. Right there tells you the answer. Then what I will say to you is be true to yourself.
Okay.
Send
is
a
that taking
card,
care of my-
send a card, do something else in the sense of a phone call, a card, whatever it is. But if you feel like you don't have to be there, I don't care how close you are to the person. You know, I have friends that have a hard time communicating with me when they don't want to come over, and they feel like they have to be here, so they make all kinds of excuses, and they actually believe the excuse. Okay, so it's, if you don't want to be there, don't be there, but you don't have to come up with 20,000 excuses. You
That
know,
makes
even
sense.
if they ask you, because I will ask them, why were you not, you know, and they'll go through all kinds of things, and this happened and that happened and whatever. Hold on, or I'm not done yet, but I will come to you next. So when that happens, be true to yourself. You know, if my friends will come to me and say, you know what, I'm not up to it. I would like to be up to it, but I'm not. And that, you know, if you say to somebody, I don't think I could handle the funeral right now, and I respect you so much that I don't want to become a spectacle or do inappropriate something, but I would like you to know that I am here for you, that whatever you need, whatever you want, a call on me, I'm here for that. And just be truthful, because a lot of people refuse to be truthful. I don't know why, because somehow they will look less than. We're more concerned about how we will appear to somebody else than being true to yourself. And when you're true to you, the other person will respect you for that. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. Be true to yourself. That makes sense. Yeah.
Always. But I mean, the moment you start questioning whether you should or shouldn't, you know you don't want to. Otherwise, you will just go ahead and do it.
True.
Okay. All right.
True.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Irma.
I think what you just said about to be truthful to yourself, that
Can you
is
speak
the
up?
inner
Because I
guide.
can you speak up? I cannot hear you. Close
Is
the
that,
microphone.
is it better? It could be
Yeah.
that I'm running out of batteries here because it's showing
Okay.
me.
No, but I mean,
Yeah. Okay. So, but to be truthful to yourself, so that's your inner guidance, or asking your higher self and things like that. I had a question regarding with the 6 people. If we consider that we are, that we, whatever we do and whoever we are, we are this little iron filing that is being torn in certain directions, and that by our actions and our way we are thinking, we are being pulled towards certain people. And so my question is, what is about this concept that we do have soulmates, and that there is like a soul agreement before we came down? I think I lost you.
no, I'm here.
No, okay,
I can
because
hear you.
my thing turned off. Yeah. So I mean, if we do have soulmates and they are trying to teach us something, I mean, people that are around us, we are always finding ourselves by looking at them. We have something that they are teaching us. There's nobody next to us that is not teaching us something. Or if we have any sentiments against or for that person, it means it's a reflection of our inner self, of what we are and who we are. So I don't know if I can just get rid of someone or be, distant. I have to be true to myself. Yes.
I didn't say for you to get rid of anyone.
Yeah.
I never said that. I said send them love. I said acknowledge them. I said give them a sense of value. especially people that are depressed. I don't care whether they're dying or not. They have to have some sort of a thing, or they would not be alive right now. They would have already died. So anybody who's alive and says, I want to die, or, you know, never mind, they're lying, because they would have died already. But as far as the soulmate, there is masters walking around in this earth right now that are married, that have partners, that are not in the vibration that the master is, because they themselves are not, the spouses are not masters. But the master has learned to vibrate high and not get down, not feeling like, poor thing, I'm gonna have to, I don't mind them being around me, because evidently there's a sense of need. I provide a need that they have to be around me, okay? So they can feel they have someone, or whatever the story is. I don't know what the story is that in your case, as far as the soulmate. The soulmate is anybody. All of us are soulmates, by the way. If you're talking about a romantic relationship, that's a different type of a soulmate. But it's also a soulmate. So to say that you only have one soulmate, it's a lie, because it's not. To say that you're going to abandon someone, I don't know, it depends on, are you there because you truly, your heart, your unconditionality of who you are, does not see this person as needs to have somebody around them. But because the moment you see a need on the person that you're helping, soulmate or not, you have done a disservice to that person, because you're seeing them, that you are seeing them less than. So you're not helping. Anybody else? This is the last question.
Okay, good.
Okay, we're done. Lisa?
Hello?
Hello?
No, it's still got the line in
Who's
it.
talking? Okay, yes, Lisa.
Can you hear us?
Yeah. No, I'm talking to Lisa right now, because Lisa got in here first. I go by hands. Yes.
Last week you mentioned that you were going to talk
And
more about angels and archangels. Do you have any more do you want to say about that?
No. No,
No?
because this
Oh,
is the
shoot.
message. I go by what needs to be said.
Okay,
I
thanks.
go by what the spirit tells me to say, and I address what the spirit tells me to address. I was going to say, and I did say that I was going to talk about angels and archangels and other beings, but that's not the subject. I wish that it was, but it had to be a little bit, times are calling for more spiritual upliftment.
Yeah, it was a great class. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Darlene, you're the last person I'm talking to. Darlene? Yes.
go ahead. Can you hear us?
Yeah.
You gotta kick that. No, we're having a hard time unmuting it.
You're having a hard time on what?
We can't do it. We can't.
We can hear you, Darlene. You are not muted.
You hear us?
I can hear you, yes. Just talk.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I wanted to kind of talk about the story and how to change the story.
Okay,
this is Donna.
Yeah, I know. For that,
How do you change the story?
You're gonna have to go into the previous class. September the 14th.
No, what's wrong with it?
And
Hello?
September the 23rd.
Did you hear that question?
I'm sorry, what? Hello?
Repeat that, Angie. I don't think they got it.
No, I know they didn't, but I don't know what they heard or didn't hear. I can't hear you either.
I can send it to them.
Okay, thank you.
Lisa, are you
Thank you.
kidding? You're sending me messages right now?
We got it.
Popping on my
We got it.
Okay, Darlene and can
We're
you
good.
We hear you.
Okay, so what was the question? Does anybody hear anything?
How to change the story.
Sorry,
How
Donna.
do we change the story? Okay. The story,
We
you need
can't
to go to,
unmute it.
you need to go to the previous class on the 15th, I mean, on the 14th of September. It's a review class on
We're
what
trying.
to do. Trying to what?
It won't unmute.
You are.
I'm not asking. I don't care. I don't need to hear you. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Say yes or no.
We heard that.
Okay, so don't say a word. I'm just gonna talk. It's a very long, the story is a very
Yes.
long subject, so you need to go to the
Yes.
class. You need
Y'all
to go
see
to
me
the
saying
class
yes?
on September the 14th. On September the 14th and September the 23rd. Those two classes, you need to hear them. And then you will get your response to the, how do you get rid of the story? Darlene? Donna?
Now, where do you find us?
Okay, I'm going to text you the answer, okay? And because we're running out of time and I really need to wrap this up. So I will send you the text. Hello?
Thank you. Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
You want to talk?
She can hear me, can't she?
Thank you. I need you to mute yourself,
Okay.
Darlene.
All right.
Uh-huh.
Yes, can you hear us?
Yes, I need you to mute.
Sorry.
This is supposed to in.
That's why I don't like to do it.
I'm not going to do it anymore.
So can she hear us? We are muted,
Yes,
right?
I can hear you. Yes, please mute. Right there, you got it. You got it. No. Okay.
Mouse is much better than
All right. All right. No more questions.
Oh, you can't?
Okay. Please put. I need you to
We
mute
got it.
yourself.
We got it. We got it.
No, you haven't. You still.
We're trying.
This is pissing me off.
Okay, I can still.
Okay.
Don't mute the
I
camera.
can-
Sorry.
No
It's
problem.
muted, don't worry about it.
No, but to get the camera back.
It's okay.
Sorry. Yeah, this is why I resisted all these. There we are.
Okay, thank you. Whew. Okay. Everyone put your hands on your heart. Hands on your heart, right there. Close your eyes. I want you to imagine that you are enfolded in a cocoon. Virginia, can you please mute yourself? Thank you. Imagine that you're wrapped up in a cocoon of light. It's a golden light, and you're inside it. It is protecting you. It is a protective shield all the way around you. I call it a cocoon, but it's actually a shield. It is one of the highest shields. It is for higher vibration. It is luminescent gold, amberish color. It's a light and it's luminescent. And it is going through your entire body. It is going from the top of your head to the bottoms of your feet. This shield is your own energetic field. And when I wanted for it to be a shield, I can use my own energy field to become a shield. When my energy is high, I use this shield for protection. Specifically when there's too many people around me, too peoply. When there is disagreements in the house, when you feel somebody's depressed or angry or in a mood other than love, you can walk around them with this shield of unconditional love to you. That's how come it is your shield. You're going to use that energy, your life force, to feed you the life force that you need, not only feeding you energy, but feeding you a high vibration. So I'm speaking to you. I'm speaking to the fields of energy around us. And I call the energy of peace, the energy of unconditional love, the energy of harmony, the energy of well-being. I call forth well-beingness in mind, in body, in soul, in emotions, allowing the nervous system to release and relax, allowing relaxation of the nervous system from the top of the head, running all the way down the chakras to the end of the spinal column, all the way down the thighs, knees, and legs, all the way to the feet, and also running from your arms to your elbows, to your hands, to your wrists and your hands, including your fingers, and on your feet, your toes, your whole body inside and out, including your skin, including your head, including your face. You are that essence, you are that love. You are that spirit of love that came here to emanate our lights, each one right here, right now, is called to shine the light. your light. You have a very powerful light. You are a beacon of light, extremely powerful. You are love. You are joy. I call forth those energies to enter your body. The energy of calmness, the energy of peace that passes understanding. What that means is the peace that passes logic, allowing love to flow through every molecule, every atom, every ion, everything in your body, all your photons beyond the physical. Allowing love to spread to all the dimensions where you are. Allowing love in that cocoon to come back to our bodies fully and for us to absorb that cocoon into our own bodies now. And I want you to breathe in deeply, getting in that energy into your body. And breathe out into your hands that energy, that healing energy, allowing that energy to flood your physical body to whatever is needed. Put your hands wherever that energy needs to be, allowing healing to your body, allowing healing to your emotions, to your well-being, knowing that we are energy beings, that even our bodies are energy, that it is not something outside of us. The body is not outside the energy field. It is energy itself. As we're recalibrating and balancing our body, us first. We come first. We come first. Put your hands where they need to be, in your mind, in your mental forces, in your emotional forces, allowing harmony, peace, joy. This is who you are. Feel your body in light. And when you have filled enough, I want you to extend your hands towards the screen and start sending it to each and every one of us. Intention of reaching each and every one of us, including the ones that have left the room for right now, including the energy of love, of healing energies. Not only am I claiming energy, healing energies for the body, but of a sound mind. A sound mind, a tranquil mind, tranquil emotions, calmness, safety. I declare safety over each molecule and over each cell and atom in your body. And so it is. I'm going to now ask you to extend that energy. Bring your hands in front of your chest. Not on your chest, in front of your chest. and pretend that you're holding an earth and send energy to the earth, the entire earth. Concentrate on the environment, on all the beautiful trees and forests, on the marine life, on the river life, and any bodies of water. Anywhere where there's vegetation. Working on the vegetation of the planet, allowing peace, allowing joy. We're moving our attention now into the waters, the oceans, the lakes, the rivers, including all the waterfalls, all the creeks, all bodies of water without exception, including ponds, any body of water. See it whole, the goodness and the wholeness of spirit surrounding all of the bodies of water. And now I want you to move that energy into all of the animals, the animal kingdom, to send that healing energy into the forest, into the waters, into the air for the birds and anything else that exists in the for the areas in the ethers. Send it to the planet itself because there is life that sustains the trees and there's life that sustains other life and is within the earth. So not only the outside of the earth, not only the ground outside, but the inner grounds, the plates. And now I want you to send it to the grids. The grids of the planet are on surrounding the stratosphere of the planet, all around the stratosphere of the planet. That is called what you will call the matrix. This is where the new matrix is being established right now, allowing that to happen, allowing that to fully materialize. I want you now to send energy to all of mankind, no exceptions, all of mankind. We're all in this together. We're one. We are one. We are love. We are beacons of light. Bring your hands back into your chest. Bring that love back into you. Right now, we're gonna make it personal and send it to your family, to your friends, relatives, people in other states or countries or wherever. Allowing everybody to have joy, to allow joy. You can send all you want to, but they have to allow it when they want to. And when they're ready, they will accept that. So we're sending it, and when people are ready to receive the healing then they will do so. Don't worry who is hitting or it doesn't hit or whatever. They are in control of their bodies. I want you to know you're precious. I want you to know you are loved. I want you to know that you are beautiful, that you have the most luminescent bodies, full of power. Not power as the world knows power, but you have the highest power, the power of love. The power of love that is not only what you have, but that is also who you are. Remember who you are. You are that, and that is awesome. God bless you. Namaste.
I'm just going to listen to that part every night before I fall asleep. That was fabulous, Ange. Thank you so much.
To sleep.
No, the cocoon. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
Mhm. Normally we sit back and talk but I mean, there was so many interruptions trying to get ourselves together, and technical difficulties. So I used some part of the class and went 10 minutes past it. So we have about 5 minutes. I mean, we have 4, but I'm going to use 5. Yes, ma'am.
Just want
Virginia.
to remind everybody that we're not having a class the next 2 weeks.
Right. No classes. I also want to remind you that Virginia, that it needs to be updated in Meetup. Meetup still showing. I cannot hear you. Not a word. I cannot hear you.
I got it.
Okay.
Want me to stop the recording at this point?
Please.
So what I wanted to say